The Game Boy Advance is such an amazing handheld. I remember playing GBA games through a DS Lite when I was younger, specifically the Pac-Man collection, and it's stuck with me ever since. With its ease of access through the plenty of ways to play, whether it be through original hardware, the GameCube, the DS, and even the 3DS through virtual console injections along with emulators on pretty much every platform, it's bound to have plenty of community-made content and ROM hacks. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 7 awesome GBA ROM hacks. All of these are super neat and worth checking out, so I hope you enjoy the list I put together. If you like this video and want to see more content like this, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get right into it. The first ROM hack we're going to look at today is Super Mario Advance 2: The Return to Dinosaurland by Oquendo. This is a 6 exit hack for Super Mario World on the GBA, and is really neat. I love the theming of the levels here, and although they are a bit tedious with how they're designed, like Yoshi's Island 2 being a level with boos literally everywhere, and Yoshi's Island 1 being a bit cramped, I feel like a lot of these issues can be attributed to this game's screen crunch. Which isn't the worst thing in the world, but the SNES original is just so much better when it comes to ROM hacking and custom levels. But besides a few gripes I have, I enjoyed this one a lot. I also used the color restoration patch, which I'll leave in the description if you want to check that out too, as it is compatible with the original Mario Advance 2 and this ROM hack. Overall, I'd recommend this one. It's a great mini hack and can be finished in about half an hour, and it's just so cool to see custom levels in this version of Mario World. At number 2, we have F-Zero Vintage Velocity, created by Power Panda. This is a hack for maximum velocity that remakes all 3 cups, Knight, Queen and King, and all 15 tracks from the original F-Zero on the Super Nintendo in the MV engine. All the vehicles are unlocked from the start. Each track is super well made, but sadly the music is not replaced here, which isn't that big of a deal, but just something I wanted to mention. The tracks here are pulling some data from GP Legend and Climax. Of course, they are all still heavily modified to fit with the physics of maximum velocity, and any tracks not from those games were remade from the ground up for this hack. It also has an additional cup known as Rook after beating the first 3 cups on expert mode, and has some nice additional tracks added to the game. Overall, this is a great hack for this game. Although it is in a similar vein to F-Zero X Climax, which I covered in my N64 ROM hacks video, it still has a good amount of content and increased difficulty. So I'd say it's definitely worth checking out if you're an F-Zero fan. At number 3, we have Super Mariomon, created by Alpharad and the Too Many Productions team. This is a hack of Pokemon Emerald and is a mashup of Mario and Pokemon. And this is the most creative hack I've played so far. It adds 151 new Pokemon, or in this case captures, which reminds me a ton of Mario Odyssey since Cappy acts as your Pokeball, and captures have their own evolutions as well, which is so awesome to see. It also has 9 new worlds, a new region of course since we're in the Mushroom Kingdom, some quality of life features like getting infinite rare candies and coins, which helped me a ton when I was getting footage for this segment, along with a full post-game. You play as Mario of course, with Luigi by your side in some team battles along with playing a big part in the story, and your goal is to collect all 8 power stars by defeating the gym leaders and eventually getting to the Elite Four. I like to think of this hack as Superstar Saga if it was a Pokemon game, and it's just so good. If you haven't yet, definitely give this one a try. The GBA is full of Pokemon hacks, so I will include another in part 2, but this one was just so great in its style and theming, and I can't recommend it enough. At number 4 we have Mario Kart R Advance, created by Blue Yoshi. This is a hack for Super Circuit that takes the tracks from Mario Kart R, a classic ROM hack for Super Mario Kart, and brings them over to this game. It features 20 tracks, edited color palettes to fit Super Circuit, and some modified menus and layouts. I have to say Super Circuit is by far my least favorite game in the series. I'm not saying it's a bad game, but it always seemed more like a novelty to me, being the first Mario Kart on a handheld and so on, so having a ton of extra tracks to play on is so great, and makes the game worth playing a bit more, in my opinion. At number 5 we have Metroid Desolation, created by Jazz and Chen. This is a complete story mode hack for Metroid Zero mission that puts you in a desert world with both normal and dread difficulty levels. It also has multiple endings depending on your progress, which adds a ton of replayability to the game. I absolutely love the aesthetic of this hack. The map is really well designed, the placement of the items is really well done, and the map just flows so well. You're basically free to explore however you choose. I'm slowly getting into actually playing some Metroid games, especially with Prime Remastered on my Switch, so this was definitely a neat addition to my collection, and I recommend giving it a try. At number 6 we have Castlevania Aria of Sorrow Reprise, created by Xanthus. This is of course a hack for Aria of Sorrow that turns the game into a roguelike, with a procedurally generated castle with custom rooms, new features, and rebalances the game as a whole when it comes to equipment, souls, and enemies. As you can see here, what initially took me from the lobby to the first room of the castle, now brings me to a completely different room on the other side of the castle. The game does provide you with a Book of Return though, which returns you to the lobby and makes it a bit easier on the progression. Pretty much every area is randomized. Of course the end goal remains the same, clear the rooms and take out the bosses to progress, but by far my favorite part of this hack has to be the soul abilities and equipment. I really enjoyed playing this one. The new features here really make this game so much more fun and replayable, and it's definitely worth checking out. At number 7, and the final ROM hack for this video, we have Fire Emblem Vision Quest, created by Pandan. This is a hack of sacred stones that gives us an entirely new and original story, set on the continent of Yaska. It has 41 total chapters, 62 playable characters, custom weapons, and so much more. I honestly almost forgot I was playing a hack. It's practically its own separate game with just how many changes it brings, and most important of all, this hack features a cookbook. Do I have to say more? This is by far one of my favorite Fire Emblem hacks, and I highly recommend it if you're looking for some quality Fire Emblem content. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and don't forget to join my Discord server linked in the description if you need any help or want to join the community over there. I'll be leaving links to where you could download each of these hacks yourselves, along with a link to ROMpatcher.js to help you patch the ROMs. But keep in mind you'll have to provide your own copies of the games I talked about today. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and see you all soon.